Have you ever wished you could snap your fingers and make all your dreams come true? Well, what if I told you there's a way to do just that, without magic wands or genies in lamps? It sounds too good to be true, right? But there's a powerful idea that says you can make your deepest desires real just by using your mind. This amazing concept is called the law of assumption, and it was taught by a spiritual teacher named Neville Goddard. Now you might be thinking, come on, it can't be that easy. And you're right, it's not always easy, but it is simple. The law of assumption says that what you believe to be true will become true in your life. It's like your mind is a super powerful magnet, pulling your dreams into reality. But here's the catch. You have to really, truly believe it. Think about it for a second. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have all the luck? Everything just works out for them, almost like magic. Well, what if it's not luck at all? What if those people are unknowingly using the law of assumption? They believe good things will happen to them, and so they do. It's not about being special or chosen, it's about what's going on in their minds. Now let's get real for a moment. If you don't understand this law, you might keep struggling to get what you want in life. You might feel stuck, like you're running on a hamster wheel, never getting anywhere. You work hard, you try your best, but somehow the big dreams always seem just out of reach. Sound familiar? But here's the exciting part. If you learn to use the law of assumption, you could change your whole world. Imagine waking up every day confident that your dreams are on their way to you. Imagine knowing deep in your bones that you're worthy of success, love, and happiness. That's the power of this law. Of course, it's not always easy to believe in something you can't see yet. Our minds are often filled with doubts and fears. We've been taught to be realistic, to not get our hopes up. But what if being realistic is actually holding us back? What if our doubts are the very things stopping our dreams from coming true? That's where the law of assumption comes in. It challenges us to believe in the unseen, to have faith in our dreams, even when the world tells us they're impossible. It's about reprogramming our minds to expect success, not failure. So, what exactly is this law of assumption? At its core, it's a simple idea. What you assume to be true becomes true in your experience. It's like your mind is a mirror and the world around you reflects what's in your mind. Let's break it down a bit. Think about your life right now. Your job, your relationships, your bank account. All of these things are, in a way, reflections of what you believe about yourself and the world. If you believe you're not good enough for a promotion, chances are you won't get one. If you assume all relationships end in heartbreak, you might subconsciously sabotage your love life. But here's the good news. If negative assumptions can create negative results, positive assumptions can create positive results. It's all about flipping the script in your mind. Neville Goddard, the teacher who popularized this idea, put it this way: assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. In other words, if you want something, act as if you already have it. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the confidence that would come with achieving your goal. Now, this doesn't mean you should ignore reality or pretend problems don't exist. It's not about denial. Instead, it's about choosing where to put your focus. Do you focus on what's going wrong, or do you focus on what could go right? The law of assumption invites us to be bold in our thinking. It challenges us to dream big and, more importantly, to believe in those dreams. It's about creating a new story for yourself, one where you're the hero, not the victim. But remember, this isn't just positive thinking. It's deeper than that. It's about changing your core beliefs about yourself and the world. It's about rewiring your brain to see possibilities instead of limitations. Think about it like this. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly you start seeing that same model everywhere? The cars were always there, but now your brain is tuned to notice them. The law of assumption works in a similar way. When you assume something is possible, your brain starts to notice opportunities you might have missed before. This law doesn't just apply to big goals like wealth or career success. It can work in every area of your life. Want better relationships? Assume people enjoy your company. Want to be healthier? Assume your body is capable of healing and strength. Want more confidence? Assume you're already confident. Of course, this doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or setbacks. Life will still have its ups and downs. But when you operate from a place of positive assumption, you're better equipped to handle those challenges. You see them as temporary obstacles, not permanent roadblocks. One of the most powerful aspects of the law of assumption is that it puts you in the driver's seat of your life. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you become the creator of your reality. It's a shift from, why is this happening to me, to, how can I make this happen for me? Now you might be wondering, if it's this simple, why isn't everyone doing it? Well, the truth is many of us are so used to our current ways of thinking that changing them feels uncomfortable. It's like trying to write with your non-dominant hand. It feels awkward at first, but with practice, it gets easier. Another reason is that we often don't realize how many negative assumptions we're making. We might think we're being realistic or practical, when really we're just limiting ourselves. The law of assumption asks us to question those limitations, to dare to believe in something better. It's also important to understand that the law of assumption isn't about instant gratification. It's not a magic wand that will make your wishes come true overnight. Instead, it's about setting in motion a new pattern of thoughts and behaviors that over time can lead to big changes. Think of it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you don't see the plant right away. But if you keep watering it and giving it sunlight, eventually it will grow. Your assumptions are like seeds you plant in your mind. Keep nurturing them with belief and aligned action, and they will grow into reality. One of the most beautiful things about the law of assumption is that it's available to everyone. You don't need special skills or talents to use it. You don't need to be born lucky or have the right connections. All you need is your mind and the willingness to use it in a new way. But here's a word of caution. The law of assumption isn't about controlling others or manipulating situations. It's about changing yourself from the inside out. When you change your inner world, your outer world naturally begins to shift to match it. So, how do you start using the law of assumption in your own life? The first step is to become aware of your current assumptions. What do you believe about yourself, about your abilities, about what's possible for you? Once you're aware of these beliefs, you can start to challenge the ones that aren't serving you. Next, start practicing new, empowering assumptions. This might feel strange at first, like you're lying to yourself. But remember, you're not trying to deny reality. You're creating a new reality. You're giving your mind a new direction to move in. For example, if you've always assumed you're bad with money, try assuming instead that you're learning to be great with money. If you've assumed you're too shy to make friends, try assuming that people enjoy talking to you. These new assumptions might not feel true at first, but if you persist, you'll start to see evidence of them in your life. It's also important to pay attention to your feelings. Neville Goddard taught that feeling is the secret to making the law of assumption work. It's not enough to just think about what you want. You need to feel it. Feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. This might take some practice. You might need to use your imagination to create these feelings. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And the better you get at generating these positive feelings, the more powerful your assumptions become. Remember, the law of assumption isn't about pretending everything is perfect right now. It's about believing in the possibility of what could be. It's about having faith in yourself and in life itself. It's about choosing to see the glass as half full, even when it seems empty. As you start to work with the law of assumption, you might notice some interesting changes. You might find yourself feeling more optimistic, more confident. You might start to see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. You might even notice that people respond to you differently. These changes might be subtle at first, but over time, they can add up to big transformations in your life. It's like the compounding effect in finance. Small, consistent changes can lead to massive results over time. One of the most powerful aspects of the law of assumption is that it can break you out of old patterns. Many of us get stuck in cycles of negative thinking and behavior. We assume things will go wrong, so we don't try, and then things do go wrong, which reinforces our negative assumption. The law of assumption helps you break this cycle by changing your starting point. It's also worth noting that the law of assumption isn't just about getting things. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts what you want. If you want success, you assume the mindset of a successful person. If you want love, you assume the mindset of someone who is loving and lovable. This shift in identity can be incredibly powerful. Instead of chasing after things, you're growing into the person who naturally has those things. It's a much more sustainable and fulfilling approach to achieving your goals. Now you might be wondering, what if I assume something and it doesn't happen? This is a common concern, and it's important to address it. The truth is, not everything will manifest exactly as you imagine it or in the time frame you expect. But that doesn't mean the law of assumption isn't working. Sometimes what we think we want isn't actually what's best for us. The law of assumption often works in mysterious ways, bringing us what we need rather than what we think we want. It's important to stay open to possibilities and to trust the process. Also remember that the law of assumption isn't about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desires. You still need to take action, but your actions will be inspired and guided by your new assumptions. As you work with the law of assumption, you might find that your desires change. As you start to believe in bigger possibilities for yourself, you might discover new dreams and goals. This is a natural part of the process. Allow yourself to grow and evolve as you practice this powerful principle. One of the beautiful things about the law of assumption is that it can create a positive ripple effect in your life. As you start to assume the best for yourself, you might find that you naturally start assuming the best for others too. This can lead to improved relationships and a more positive outlook on life in general. It's also worth noting that the law of assumption can be particularly powerful when dealing with challenges or setbacks. Instead of assuming the worst when things go wrong, you can choose to assume that everything is working out for your highest good. This doesn't mean ignoring problems, but it does mean approaching them with a more positive and empowered mindset. As you continue to work with the law of assumption, you might find that it becomes second nature. You might catch yourself automatically reframing negative thoughts into positive assumptions. This is when the real magic happens, when your new way of thinking becomes your default mode. Remember, the law of assumption is not about forcing things to happen through sheer willpower. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of life. It's about opening yourself up to possibilities and trusting that life is working in your favor. It's also important to be patient with yourself as you learn to apply this law. Changing your thought patterns takes time and practice. There might be days when it feels challenging, when your old assumptions try to creep back in. This is normal. The key is to be gentle with yourself and keep returning to your new, empowering assumptions. One helpful practice is to start your day by setting positive assumptions. Before you get out of bed, take a few moments to assume good things for your day. Assume that things will work out in your favor, that you'll have the strength to handle any challenges, that you'll make progress towards your goals. This sets a positive tone for your entire day. Another powerful technique is to use affirmations that align with your assumptions. For example, if you're assuming financial abundance, you might use affirmations like "money flows to me easily and abundantly," or "I am worthy of wealth and prosperity." Repeat these affirmations regularly, especially when you notice doubts or negative thoughts creeping in. Visualization is another tool that can supercharge your practice of the law of assumption. Spend time each day visualizing yourself living the life you desire. See yourself succeeding, being happy, having the things you want. Feel the emotions associated with these experiences. The more vivid and emotion-filled your visualizations, the more powerful they become. It's also helpful to surround yourself with people and environments that support your new assumptions. If you're trying to assume greater success, spend time with successful people. If you're assuming better health, create an environment that supports wellness. Your surroundings can either reinforce or challenge your assumptions, so choose wisely. As you work with the law of assumption, you might find that it challenges some of your old beliefs about how the world works. You might have been taught that life is hard, that good things only come to a lucky few, or that you have to struggle to succeed. The law of assumption invites you to question these beliefs and consider new possibilities. This can be both exciting and a little scary. It's exciting because it opens up new possibilities for your life, but it can also be scary because it means letting go of old, familiar ways of thinking. Remember, growth often involves stepping out of your comfort zone. One of the most powerful aspects of the law of assumption is that it puts you in a state of expectancy. When you assume good things are coming your way, you start to live in a state of positive anticipation. This state of mind can be incredibly attractive, drawing good experiences and opportunities to you. It's also worth noting that the law of assumption can work in all areas of your life, not just in achieving specific goals. You can use it to improve your overall quality of life, to feel more peace and joy on a daily basis. Assume that each day will bring you moments of happiness. Assume that you'll find beauty in the world around you. Assume that you're growing and evolving in positive ways. As you continue to work with the law of assumption, you might find that your relationship with the concept of reality starts to shift. You might begin to see that what we call reality is more flexible and responsive to our thoughts and beliefs than you previously imagined. This can be a profound and liberating realization. Remember, the law of assumption is not about denying the current facts of your life. It's about choosing where to put your focus and energy. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong or what's missing, you're choosing to focus on what's possible, on what you want to create. It's also important to understand that the law of assumption works on a deeper level than just positive thinking. It's about shifting your core beliefs about yourself and the world. These deep-seated beliefs often operate below the surface of our conscious awareness, shaping our experiences without us realizing it. By consciously choosing new assumptions, you're reprogramming these deeper beliefs. One powerful way to reinforce your new assumptions is to look for evidence that supports them. Our brains are naturally wired to look for evidence that confirms our existing beliefs. By consciously seeking out evidence that supports your new, positive assumptions, you're training your brain to see the world in a new way. For example, if you're assuming greater abundance in your life, start noticing all the ways in which you're already abundant. Maybe you have plenty of food in your fridge, or a roof over your head, or friends who care about you. Acknowledging these existing abundance can help strengthen your assumption of even greater abundance to come. It's also helpful to practice gratitude alongside the law of assumption. Gratitude puts you in a positive state of mind, making it easier to maintain your positive assumptions. Plus, when you're grateful for what you have, you're essentially assuming that good things come to you, which can help attract more good things. As you work with the law of assumption, you might find that your goals and desires evolve. As you start to believe in bigger possibilities for yourself, you might discover new dreams and aspirations. This is a natural part of the process. Allow yourself to grow and expand your vision as you practice this powerful principle. Remember, the law of assumption is not about controlling every aspect of your life or the world around you. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of life, opening yourself up to possibilities, and trusting in your own ability to create positive change. It's also worth noting that the law of assumption doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or setbacks. Life will still have its ups and downs. But when you operate from a place of positive assumption, you're better equipped to handle these challenges. You might find yourself approaching problems with more creativity and resilience. One powerful aspect of the law of assumption is that it can help you break free from limiting beliefs and self-defeating patterns. Many of us carry around negative assumptions about ourselves and our capabilities, often stemming from past experiences or things we were told when we were young. By consciously choosing new, when you assume something is true, your mind starts to look for ways to make it happen. It's like telling your brain, "This is real," and your brain says, "Okay, let's make it real." This process happens in ways you might not even notice at first. Think about the last time you learned a new word. Suddenly, you start hearing that word everywhere. It's not that people started using the word more often. You just became more aware of it. The law of assumption works in a similar way. When you assume something is true, your brain starts to notice opportunities and possibilities that support that assumption. But it goes even deeper than that. Your assumptions don't just change what you notice, they change how you act. If you assume you're a confident person, you'll naturally start acting more confidently. If you assume people like you, you'll be more open and friendly in social situations. These small changes in behavior can lead to big changes in your life. It's important to understand that the law of assumption isn't about magical thinking. It's not saying that if you assume you can fly, you'll suddenly grow wings. Instead, it's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desires. When these three elements are in harmony, you become a powerful force for change in your own life. Let's say you want a new job. If you assume you're not qualified or that no one will hire you, you might not even apply for positions. Or if you do apply, you might go into interviews feeling nervous and unprepared. But if you assume you're a valuable candidate with a lot to offer, you'll approach the job search differently. You'll apply for more positions, prepare more thoroughly for interviews, and present yourself with confidence. These actions, driven by your assumption, increase your chances of landing the job. Neville Goddard taught that your imagination is the key to making the law of assumption work. When you can picture something clearly in your mind and feel like it's already true, you're tapping into a powerful, creative force. Your imagination is like a preview of coming attractions in your life. When you imagine something vividly, you're giving your subconscious mind a blueprint to work with. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. It responds to the images and feelings you feed it, regardless of whether they come from your external experiences or your imagination. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool. When you visualize your desires as if they're already real, you're essentially programming your subconscious mind to help make those desires a reality. Athletes use this technique all the time. They visualize themselves performing perfectly, and this mental practice translates into improved physical performance. But it's not just about seeing images in your mind. It's about engaging all your senses in your imagination. If you're imagining your dream home, don't just see it. Feel the texture of the furniture, smell the flowers in the garden, hear the sounds of laughter echoing through the rooms. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more powerful the effect. Imagination also helps you overcome limiting beliefs. Often, we struggle to believe in possibilities we've never experienced. But through imagination, you can create vivid, detailed experiences of success, love, or whatever else you desire. These imagined experiences can help bridge the gap between your current reality and your desired reality. Remember, your imagination is not bound by your past experiences or current circumstances. In your imagination, you can be, do, or have anything. Use this incredible power to expand your sense of what's possible for you. To make the law of assumption work, you need to change how you see yourself. If you want to be rich, you need to see yourself as someone who is already rich. This might sound simple, but it's often the hardest part of using the law of assumption. Your self-image is like a thermostat for your life. Just as a thermostat keeps a room at a certain temperature, your self-image keeps your life at a certain level. If your self-image is set to struggle, you'll find ways to struggle even when good things happen. If it's set to success, you'll find ways to succeed even in challenging situations. Changing your self-image isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about recognizing who you truly are beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and past experiences. It's about seeing your potential and your worth. Start by becoming aware of how you currently see yourself. What stories do you tell about who you are? What do you believe about your capabilities, your worth, your place in the world? Once you're aware of these beliefs, you can start to challenge and change them. One powerful way to change your self-image is through affirmations. These are positive statements about yourself that you repeat regularly. For example, if you want to improve your financial situation, you might use affirmations like, "I am worthy of abundance," or "I make smart financial decisions." At first, these affirmations might feel fake or uncomfortable. This is normal. Your old self-image will resist change. But if you persist, repeating your new positive self-image statements daily, they'll start to feel more natural. Eventually, they'll become your new truth. Another effective technique is to act as if. This means behaving as if you already are the person you want to become. If you want to be more confident, act as if you're already confident. Stand tall, speak clearly, make eye contact. Over time, these actions will help reshape your self-image. Remember, changing your self-image is a process. It takes time and consistent effort. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small changes and keep moving forward. As your self-image shifts, you'll find that your external reality starts to shift too, aligning with your new, empowered view of yourself. The key is to persist even when your external reality hasn't caught up yet. Keep assuming the best about yourself. Keep imagining your ideal life. Keep acting in alignment with your desired self-image. Your persistence will pay off, often in ways you might not expect. As you work on changing your self-image, you might encounter resistance from others. People in your life might be used to your old self-image and feel uncomfortable with your changes. This is normal. Stay true to your new, empowered self-image. The right people will adjust and support your growth. Remember, the most important relationship you have is with yourself. When you truly believe in your own worth and potential, you become unstoppable. The law of assumption becomes a powerful tool in your hands, helping you create the life you've always dreamed of. Feeling is the secret. When it comes to making the law of assumption work, feeling is the secret. It's not enough to just think about what you want. You need to feel like you already have it. The stronger the feeling, the faster it can come true. This idea might seem strange at first. After all, how can you feel something that hasn't happened yet? But that's exactly what makes this approach so powerful. When you can generate the feelings of already having what you want, you're sending a strong signal to both your subconscious mind and the universe. Think about it this way. Your emotions are like fuel for your assumptions. When you combine a strong assumption with a strong positive emotion, you create a powerful force for change in your life. So how do you generate these feelings? One way is through visualization. When you visualize your desired outcome, don't just see it, feel it. If you're visualizing a successful career, feel the pride and satisfaction of achieving your goals. If you're visualizing a loving relationship, feel the warmth and joy of being with your partner. Another technique is to practice gratitude for your desire as if it's already happened. Thank the universe for bringing your desire into your life. Feel the genuine appreciation and joy you would feel if your desire had already manifested. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. When you generate strong, positive feelings about your desire, your subconscious begins to accept it as reality. And when your subconscious accepts something as real, it starts working to make it your external reality too. Sometimes your old beliefs might try to stop you. But remember, what you assume to be true becomes true. So assume that you can do it, even when it's hard. Doubts are a natural part of the process when you're working with the law of assumption. After all, you're asking yourself to believe in something that isn't yet visible in your physical reality. It's normal for your logical mind to resist this idea. The key is to acknowledge your doubts without letting them take over. When doubts arise, remind yourself that they're just thoughts, not facts. You have the power to choose which thoughts you focus on and believe in. One effective technique for dealing with doubts is to question them. When a doubt arises, ask yourself, is this really true? Where did I learn this belief? Is it serving me? Often, you'll find that your doubts are based on old, limiting beliefs that aren't actually true. Another powerful approach is to use your doubts as fuel for stronger assumptions. If you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, immediately counter it with, I absolutely can do this, and here's why. Then, list all the reasons why you can achieve your goal. Remember, the law of assumption isn't about never having doubts. It's about choosing to focus on and believe in your desired outcome, even when doubts arise. With practice, you'll find that your positive assumptions become stronger than your doubts. Neville taught to live as if your wish has already come true. Act, think, and feel like you already have what you want. This sends a powerful message to the universe. Living from the end means immersing yourself in the feeling of your desire being fulfilled. It's about creating a mental and emotional state that aligns with your desired reality. This doesn't mean ignoring your current circumstances. Instead, it means choosing to focus on and feel your desired end result. regardless of what your current situation looks like. For example, if your goal is financial abundance, living from the end might mean feeling the peace and security that comes with having plenty of money. It might mean making decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. It might mean treating yourself and others with the generosity you would if you had all the money you desired. Living from the end also involves aligning your actions with your desired reality. Ask yourself, what would I do if my desire was already fulfilled? How would I spend my time? How would I treat myself and others? Then start incorporating these actions into your daily life. This approach can feel challenging at first, especially if your current reality seems far from your desire. But remember, you're not denying your current reality. You're choosing to put your focus and energy on your desired end result. As you practice living from the end, you might find that opportunities and ideas start coming to you. You might notice changes in how people respond to you. These are signs that your inner shift is beginning to manifest in your outer world. The law of assumption is a powerful tool for creating the life you desire. By assuming that what you want is already yours, feeling it deeply, and living as if it's true, you set in motion forces that can transform your reality. Remember, this isn't about instant magic. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desires. It's about persistently holding on to your assumption even when your current reality doesn't yet reflect it. As you practice the law of assumption, be patient with yourself. Change often happens gradually and sometimes in unexpected ways. Trust the process and keep assuming the best for yourself. Most importantly, enjoy the journey. The law of assumption isn't just about getting things. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts and experiences what you desire. It's about growing, evolving, and discovering your true potential. So go ahead, make that bold assumption, feel it, live it, and watch as your world begins to transform. Your dreams are waiting for you to assume them into reality.